Hello, 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 and welcome to my podcast, Life with Jode, where we talk about anything and everything. On today's episode, we have the wonderful Crystal. This is part one of our chat. Today, we're going to be talking to her in regards to her weight loss, why she's done it, who's her biggest supporter, and what she's gained from this, along with her plastic surgery she's undergone at the start of this year, 2025. And then in part two, which will be uploaded next week, is going to be all about her social medias and her Channel 4 documentary in regards to her weight loss journey, along with the magazines and newspaper articles. We are also going to dabble into Miss Bariatric pageant, which we are both going to be competing in, and how we are going to go about the whole pageantry experience. But for now, on part one, let's welcome Crystal.
So I'm Crystal, I'm 30 years old, I'm married and I've got 3 children, and I had gastric sleeve surgery over 2 years ago.
And where did you have your sleeve surgery?
I had my gastric sleeve in Turkey with a company called Booking Surgery.
And how well did that go for you?
The surgery is actually quite simple and easy. I did a research before that because I was under a lot of stress and I think my weight was really bringing me down. And it wasn't until I went on a family holiday with my sister, I came out in a bikini and she made a comment to me, which was, "Are you really wearing that?" And I was like, "Yes." And that comment stuck with me so much that it affected me. And that's when I knew I needed to do something about it. I thought about the kids and my asthma was really bad. Like, I was chronic asthmatic. Like, every day I'd be using my inhaler. I used to have 2 on a repeat. But now I have probably 1 every couple of months. So my asthma has improved significantly. I literally had to do something about my weight because I was miserable and my health was not good, and I had 3 young children, so I had to think about them really.
Are you happy with going to Turkey? Because I know there's a lot of stigma around surgeries in Turkey. I know I got a few unwanted and unneeded comments, but for some reason you only hear the bad things, and it for some reason outweighs all the good. So were you happy with your experience over in Turkey?
So my experience was really good. I was treated literally like royalty. So I have no faults with the company that I went with or the surgeon that did my surgery. And I mean, he still follows me on Instagram now and he likes my posts and he did a fantastic job. He gave me the tool, obviously, as much as they helped me. I'm the one that actually shaped my life and changed everything about myself by actually doing a healthy diet and changing literally my whole regime of what I used to eat to what I now eat. But going to Turkey didn't bother me overly too much. It scared the shit out of my mum, to be honest. She was my companion to go with me because Stephen would have stayed home with the kids. And it wasn't until I think it was 2 months before I was going for my gastric sleeve, I literally crapped my pants and I was like, I can't go. I'm scared because I was seeing so many bad press. And that's the worst thing because there's so much negativity about it. And with the whole stigma of going to Turkey, going abroad, that was really over my shoulders. And it wasn't until it was my husband, to be fair, that was like, you need to go, you're doing this for your health. And it was him that gave me the encouragement, and I was like, no, I'm gonna die. And I was so scared. But it was looking at the percentage of dying and obviously the surgery and the outcomes, because he's very typical like that. He's very straight down, and he's always said to me, unless I worry, then you worry. So he's always been hands-on for me and supporting me. So he's the one that I was like, no, just go. You need to, and you want to. So he's always been there. So then I just went for it, and I was scared. I absolutely crap myself. I remember going down to the theatre room, and I was thinking, God, if I die, I die. But at least I won't know because I won't be awake. I just hope nothing bad happens. I wasn't even scared of the liquid stage or what comes after a gastric sleeve, even the pain or the gas pain. I was not even scared about that. I was just scared of not waking up, but I did wake up and the pain was horrific.
Was your sleeve the only time you'd ever been put to sleep?
No.
Or have you had operations before?
Right. Luckily, before that, I had my gallbladder removed in 2021, actually on Christmas Day. Yes. So me and Stephen got married, and it was 2 weeks after we got married. I was actually hospitalised on and off for nearly 6 months. It was horrific. But my first surgery ever, like, was my gallbladder being removed, and I kind of knew because it was keyhole that that would be similar with my gastric sleeve because I did so much research. So what I was expecting, it was literally like having my gallbladder removed again, the same like pain, apart from I didn't have a drain this time. Whereas when I had my gallbladder removed, I had to have a drain because obviously it was an emergency surgery Christmas Day. I had an infection, so they had to give me a drain. But I was dreading getting a drain and I didn't have it with my sleeve, and I only had 3 incisions.
I'm trying to think how many I had. I had a bypass, so obviously it's a little bit different, but it's virtually the same. And I think I had about no, 5 incisions.
Yeah, I
But
was
now,
proud. Some
can't
people
see.
have between like 3 and 7, and it's like it all varies on surgeon. And I was like, I don't want loads. When I woke up, I only had 3 and no drains. I was like, oh, I've got magic surgeon.
I also think it helps with kind of like how your body is kind of like laid on the
Yeah.
day type of thing, because obviously everything moves around in there. So if something's sat different, you're gonna have to have a different incision.
I've always been told as well, when you have your first surgery, your body is never the same because they have to go past organs and stuff to get to certain places, even though they blow you up like a balloon to get there. Like, I know for a while, when I had my gallbladder removed, I was like, I hope they find everything. Like, and I did my liver reduction diet, and I was like making sure like my liver was gone. Like, I didn't even cheat on it because I was so petrified of anything going wrong.
Did you have your final meal, like death row meal, before your surgery or?
No, I didn't. I really wish I did, but then I kind of feel like I'm glad I didn't because I knew I wouldn't like not be able to eat again. I knew what I'd have beforehand. I'd have again, but in moderation. So in a way, I didn't really have like a last meal because I knew I'd eat again. I knew it was just temporary.
I regretted having my last meal type thing because the way I flew, I think it was like midday,
Yeah.
but I had the worst meal in the airport.
Wow.
And then because I went with Turkish Airlines because I wanted the comfort, they actually served you food on the plane, and I completely forgot about it. But it were raw. That was probably better than the airport food.
Oh, really?
So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have like the last fry up. And then it was absolutely dreadful. And then I think it was like chicken pasta on the plane, and I was like, oh, chef's kiss. I remember doing the thing of, oh, I'm gonna have a Chinese because it's the last Chinese I'm gonna ever have. And
Yeah.
then about 6 months post-op, I couldn't be asked to cook one night. I was like, let's grab a Chinese from takeaway over the road, and they were like, yep, okay. I was like, why did I have all these final meals when really I am having them? It's just obviously not overflowing my plate like I normally would do.
Exactly what I was thinking, like, because I saw everyone else having like a final meal, and it's like, and I'm not on death row. I'm literally going to be eating this again. I'm not going to like, that's my final meal. I'm never going to touch it. And I really wanted to, but I was literally, I was petrified of just going wrong of anything. And I'd rather just follow the rules and just be a good little girl, goody two shoes, and just do it. And then obviously I fucked up after that though, because my nun died. So after my sleeve, I
Everyone does it. Someone close to me, not going to name who they are because I don't think they want anyone to know. But they had a balloon. They had that in for the year and then they got it taken out. And then unfortunately a family member passed away and they did the exact same thing.
yeah.
It's the way of coping, it's grief. Obviously everyone shows it in a different way. They went back to food and put on near enough what they lost. So because of the extraordinary circumstances, you're not really meant to have the balloon twice.
Yeah.
Because of the extreme circumstances, they allowed the person to get another go at it.
I was only about 3 months post-op, if that, and I was hospitalised because I ended up being bit by a spider. So then it went downhill from literally not eating stuff to being like nil by mouth to then literally days after being like, I actually discharged myself and I was like, I need to go see my nan. One day post-op after having the surgery, and my mum was like, your nan's deteriorating. And I was like, what? Like, no, she's not. And like, while I was in hospital, I had a missed call from my nan as well. So it was really weird, like how quick she went. And I self-discharged because I spoke to my surgeon, and he said he had similar like issues and stuff, like I think it was his liver or something. So he was like, as long as you're back by midnight. I was like, yes, I'll be Cinderella and I'll be back before midnight. So I escaped and I went and saw my nan, and literally when I saw her, she didn't even know what was going on. And I was like showing her my hand because she knew that I got bit, and it was, to be fair, it was her words of wisdom that made me go hospital. Because she was on about my granddad. She was like, he got bit and he had to have it lanced. So that's what I thought would happen to my hand. It would just be lanced and it'd be sorted. But then that's the only reason I actually went to hospital. And if I didn't go, I probably would have lost my finger. And it was her words. And that was the last same conversation I had with her, was before I went to hospital. So then obviously when I came out and I'm telling her, she's looking at me gone out. Like she really is not with it, and she was gone. I went back to hospital and then I was discharged 2 days later. But when I came out, she was literally like, she wasn't talking at all. So she deteriorated pretty fast. And it was like after her passing, like even during it, like when she was slowly going, I was drinking them Lucasades, the cherry Lucasades, the energy drinks. I was living off them probably 4 or 5 a day. And it was really bad because it's like you can't have fizzy. And I'm like 3 months post-op, literally constantly, it's all I was living off because I couldn't really eat anything. I was actually there for her death. But I'd been there all night and I'd not slept because I wouldn't take my eye off of her. I had that feeling, like that gut feeling, like I knew something was going to happen if I fell asleep. So I had a break and I was going to go home, have a nap, come back, and we went to McDonald's for the kids and myself. So I got myself a Big Mac, a large Big Mac meal, and I literally had like 2 bites and I couldn't. And I was so pissed off because I needed it. It was like, so much shit is going on in my life. I need food and I needed that. I had to have it. And I was so angry because I didn't even touch the chips. Then I was pissed off because I couldn't touch the drink for half an hour. And I was literally like fuming because I just wasted that money and I couldn't have it. I know the kids could eat it later, but it's just, I was angry. And I remember recording it and posting it on TikTok because I thought, like, this is realism. Like, do you know what I mean? My nan is dying. She's sat there in her bed and I want to eat food. But there's some people that will be like, oh, you can't do that because you've had a gastric sleeve and all that in your ear. So I thought I have to post it because, like, some people go through this, like they lose somebody or something significant happens, that they need to eat food because that's their only way of coping.
Mm-hmm.
So then I remember going to sleep. I literally went to sleep for an hour, if that, and I woke up. But I thought my mum rang me, but she didn't. Apparently, I rang her, and I don't remember doing that. But I could hear my nan's voice, like it was rattly, so I knew she was going. I was like, we need to go. And we lived probably about 5 minutes from my nan's. Stephen got there within less than a minute. Like he sped, and I got there. And as soon as I sat down, she was quiet. And I sat next to Mum. I was like, "What happened?" I didn't touch her. Like she just went quiet as soon as I sat next to her. And I remember holding her hand, and I was stroking her, and I was saying to her, "We're all here. Just go." Because like my aunt was there, my other sister was there. We didn't get a chance to call my other sister, so she missed it. But like as soon as I started talking, she just went. And it was just horrible to like be there. And it's like I watched my mum break, and that's when I just didn't even cry. So a lot of my grief, I just dealt with drinking my energy drinks, and literally I was picking on shit. I'd eat crisps. I remember buying just crisps I had beforehand, like the sweet chili sensations, the share bag, and even though I can eat all of them or even a whole share bag, I'd just pick it and I was just eating crap. But that's because I didn't know what to do then, because most of my journey was down to my nan. And on New Year's Day, before I even went for my gastric sleeve, I remember her touching my side, touching my waist, saying, "I really hope I'm here to see you skinny or slim." I can't remember the exact words. And it's like, that always stuck with me. It's like, what the fuck's the point of my journey now? Like, she's not here. What is the point? And that is literally my mindset throughout months and months. Like, I couldn't even go to the gym. I couldn't do my aquafit because of my spider bite. So that was already put on hold. So I think, in a way, I know things happen for a reason. So my spider bite came at the right time because my nan died, and obviously I wouldn't have wanted to do any fitness anyway. So it kind of went hand in hand. But it was just an awful time. And I always say, if she didn't die, I probably would have reached my target, because my target was 10 stone. And I'm literally, 11 stone 9, I think, now. So I'm not even at my target, what I've always wanted to be. But I feel if she didn't die, I would have been there. But then also at the same time, if I didn't have my gastric sleeve and she died, I probably would have ended up killing myself with overeating.
Well, you've also got to think that you have recently undergone plastics, so you had all that extra weight of
Yeah.
skin, and obviously you're still swollen, and you're probably still going to be holding all that water weight as well. So just give it time. There's a lot of people I've seen at the minute that are actually quite early on still in their journey. They're doing like pouch resets and stuff. Like, no hate to them at all.
Yeah.
Completely support them in it.
Eating healthy isn't always the way, because like even though I was eating all that shit, I was still losing weight, like loads of weight. And I know obviously I had the gastric sleeve, so that was to help, because obviously it was the amount, like I wasn't consuming the same amount as I would normally would, but I was still losing loads and loads of weight. And it wasn't until like the November 2023 when I like stalled, and I stalled for almost a year. Like it wasn't until last year I pushed myself so much and I lost the final 2 stone before my plastics. And that's what I really wanted, because I thought, I'm not where I want to be in my plastics, and I don't want to go for plastics and then need like a revision because I've still got loads of loose skin, and that's something that I really didn't want to do. So I was like, I need to push myself, because I know I gained a little bit of weight. I gained like half a stone, which isn't overly a lot. It's only £6, £7. So it wasn't too much, but it's the fact that I was still the same from November 2023 all the way up, and it was like July 24, August. I'm like, nothing's happening. So it wasn't, that's when I did the whole pouch reset, and this is like a year and a half later, and all I did was go back to basics. So I literally had protein shake for breakfast, and for lunch I literally just stick to salads. And as much as I wanted to snack, because that's the thing with obviously having I don't know if it's the same with you, but like when you have had bariatric surgery, you like snack on like protein bits like pepperonis or dunkers or baby bells, and you're snacking all the time.
All the time. All the
And
time.
that gets a
Literally.
bit, because then you just snack at everything, and then it leads to like biscuits, and then it leads to crisps, and it's like, when does it stop? And the snacking shouldn't be a thing; it should be meals.
It's weird though, because I'll crave a certain food, whether that be junk food or an actual proper meal. And then as soon as I start cooking it or it comes to eating it, I'm there like, don't want it
I,
anymore.
I've done the same thing, like fried eggs on toast every morning. I fancy it, and then like I always think, oh, but I know as soon as I'm going to cook it, I'm not going to want it. And I did it like a couple of weeks ago for me and Stephen, and I don't know why, like fat crystal was still in my head, because I had 2 slices of toast and 3 eggs, and I only literally had, I think it was 1 egg and half of a sliced toast. I'm like, here, Stephen, like have one, finish it off.
I do that all the time. I'll go, oh yeah, okay, yep, this is like a normal portion size. I'll be like, can't finish it. Can't finish it. Here, Kyle, human dustbin. Finish off my food. I was saying this earlier to Hayley when I was having a chat with her. I hate leftovers. I hate leaving stuff on my plate. It's the way I've been brought up, which has obviously led to my eating habits as well. You can't leave food on your plate. If you don't finish your meal, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it's like, now it's still in my head, and then I feel bad for leaving my food. But then I also think, but if I push myself too far, I'm going to make myself ill, or I'm
Yeah.
going to start stretching myself, which is then going to lead to possibly me being back to where I started. Very, very, very unlikely, but it is always a possibility. So I'm just like trying so hard to like get out my mental state of finish the food on the plate. And then if I'm craving something, I always try and opt for the fruit before I actually go for the actual chocolate.
That's really good, because my willpower isn't there. I just go straight for the chocolate.
But then I also feel like my taste buds have changed.
Yeah, I've got that as well. I think my taste buds.
Everything's a lot sweeter than it normally is. So it's kind of like hitting that sweet tooth. So then once I've had my bowl of fruit, I'm full. I am happy and satisfied with what I've eaten. And then I no longer want to go back to
Yeah.
that chocolate bar. And I'll just leave it in the cupboard.
See, I don't have willpower like that. I've got loads of fruit because I've got the kids, but it's just I look at it and I just go, it's the effort of I have to cut it up and put it into a bowl. And it's just get a chocolate bar. It's literally just unwrap it and I cut it down. But I think the worst thing is like it's TV and snacking, watching TV. I have to eat something and it's really annoying. But I think it's because it's the cinema. You go to the cinema, you have to have popcorn. Like we have literally been brought up to you have to eat while watching TV. And it's horrible because every evening, like, I do feel sorry for Stephen. Like, he can eat like no tomorrow, but he just like stick thin. Like, he doesn't put it on, and he'll sit there eating sweets. And it's like beforehand, I was a proper chocolate lover. Like, chocolate was my thing. And now it's gradually, as much as I can have like chocolate bars, like my go-to chocolate bars is a wagon wheel, which has got like jam in it, which is sweet. So my taste buds have changed to like, I like sweets. And at the minute I'm going for a phase of Skittles. Like I eat a shit ton of Skittles. But then I've had to learn to some self-decorum. I'm like, do I need that though? And then I look at the time, because I do try and do with bedtime. So like if I'm going to bed in an hour, I'm like, no, you can't. You're going to bed in an hour. Because I definitely try to do that as much as possible. Like, because I always have this thing now, because when you do eat before you go to bed, you end up with like indigestion, and you can end up putting weight on as well because your metabolism slows down. So they're not going to digest your food properly. So now I do that before I go to bed, an hour. I make sure if I've not got an hour, then I'm like, nah, I can't eat it.
I
So
also have found that if I eat before bed, I get really bad bellyache,
yeah,
and it keeps me awake because I've got bellyache, and it also obviously depends on what food I'm eating at the time as well. So yeah, I completely relate. So your weight loss experience, your milestones, the good, the bad.
see, I think the bad thing through my weight loss journey was obviously my nan dying, because that really put a spanner in the works for a lot of stuff. But obviously nearly 2 years post-op, I finally reached a whole 10 stone loss. I'm now obviously over 10 stone losing, but I'm not at the 10 stone mark. See, people get confused as well when I say I've lost 10 stone, because they think I'm at the 10 stone weight, and it's like, no, I've now lost over 10 stone. And I finally did that towards the end of last year, which is like, that was a big thing. It was literally December, and I'm like, got my plastics, and that's what I really wanted to do, and I probably pushed for it. So that was like a huge milestone. I think one of my big things is fitting in kids' rides. So like we went to Peppa Pig World, and I'm literally there. There's a video that I put on Instagram, and I didn't expect it to literally blow up, but it did. But I'm riding on a kid's horse, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. And my husband's like, "Are you enjoying that, mummy?" I'm like, "Yes," because I absolutely loved it. The fact that my ass could fit on it. Because even as a kid, I was always fat. Like I was big and fat at the age of 8. I had to sit on adult chairs in the classroom at school, and I could never go on kids' rides because I just couldn't fit. And the amount of times we go to, like, my dad would take me to like Alton Towers or like places like that, and I could not fit on the rides that I wanted to go on, which was really disappointing. So now, even though these are proper kid baby rides, I didn't care. It's the fact that I could fit my ass in it, I'd do it. So I went on this little horse thing. We went on all these little Peppa Pig rides, and the kids are like, the boys are past it. Like Ethan's 10, Blaze is nearly 9. And they're like, we don't do Peppa Pig. Poppy does. And I was like, we're going around it because I want to go on it because I know I can fit on it. And I think
But
that
I want one of you guys to come with me so I don't look like a shadow.
it's exactly that. I mean, I just can't wait. We're going to Chessington. We was meant to go for Stephen's birthday, literally after his birthday, but I think with my plastics and stuff, we went to the cinema last week, and queuing up, standing up, I couldn't do it. So we've now postponed it to like, I think it's the end of May. So I'm actually looking forward to that, because we haven't been to Chessington since the kids were little, and I was quite big. So it's going to be nice to know we can go on like the group rides, like the Gruffalo, all together and fit. And it's Poppy's first time as well. And I mean, she's 7, so I haven't been there for like 7 years, which is crazy. But I'm actually excited for that, because they're sort of bigger rides and the kids are bigger, so we can go on like more adult rides. But that was like a huge milestone, fitting into kids things. And it's the same as like parks. I was about 6, 7 months post-op, and I went to the park. I didn't even think about it. I just sat on a swing and I was swinging on it. And it wasn't until Poppy pointed it out. She was like, "You can swing on that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I clicked and I went, "Oh, yes." And then I got my phone and I had to record it, because I was like, I can swing on a swing. The same as like, the trampolines where you have like the suits.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I used to love going on it, but I used to put myself through pain just for the sake of fun, because they used to proper dig in the harnesses, and it was just horrific. Me and Stephen went to Manchester, not last year, the year before, and we did like a treetop adventure thing, and I'm fucking shitting. I hate heights. I shit myself. I hate heights so much. I don't even like being at the top of the stairs. I'm scared I'm going to fall. But we did this adventure. We did the kiddie one first, which was like, it was so easy. It was such a breeze. It was really good. And then we got to the adult thing, and I was like, no, I can't do this. He's like, yeah, you can. And I did take photos. I had like a little bag, took photos, took videos. And there was a video, and I remember because I was recording it in my bag. It was the worst thing ever. So like I slipped over. There were like little steps, like sort of like a ladder that you've got to step on, but you've got hold of nothing apart from your harness. And
Right.
I slipped over. There's a net underneath it, but I slipped over and I really couldn't get up. I said because I was still sort of not big, but I'd lost loads of weight. I think I wasn't prepared for how do I get up, and it was embarrassing. There was people behind me. Stephen was at the front of the queue because he volunteered to go first, and I'm like, I can't get up. I didn't know what to do because I couldn't get up. He had to come back to help me up, and it was so embarrassing. But it was really fun, and I was scared of the whole like at the top where you go on like a zip wire where you come down. Because I had to remember, they said you need to like run with your legs before you get there, because otherwise you'll end up hurting yourself or falling over. And Stephen recorded me coming down, and I watch it, and it's funny as hell because I fall on my bum. I'm covered in mud, and I'm wearing this like bright green gym suit, and I'm like, I don't know why I picked that up, but I just thought, oh, I'll go for a colour. But I was covered in mud, and it was the best thing I ever did. I can get on Stephen's back. Stephen can pick me up. He really wants to pick me up. Like, he tried to do it a couple of weeks ago. He was like, he tried to, and I was like, no, because I didn't realise my stomach muscles, because obviously I've had a muscle repair with my tummy tuck. So I didn't realise I tensed when he went to pick me up. So I was like, no, you can't pick me up yet. But he physically cannot wait to pick me up since having my plastics, because obviously it's just, I've lost 11 pounds. 11 pounds of skin was removed. So now it's even more lighter. And it is quite nice, the fact that he could pick me up, because when we got married, I was always gutted, and I always said, "Oh, you can't pick me up. You can't pick me up through the threshold," because obviously I was big. Done pole fitness as well.
Oh yeah, I did that a while back when I was my biggest, and I did about 4 weeks of it, and I enjoyed it. But
Yeah, I started mine. I did mine January. I started it last year January, but then I fucked up my knee, so I didn't go back. And it was literally, we've got one like 5 minute drive, like it's in town. I always drove past it, even when I was bigger, and I was like, I'd love to do that, but I didn't have the confidence. So I dragged a friend with me, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't realise what upper strength you need. Like, you need a lot of bloody body strength, and you don't realise. And you're like trying to hold on, trying to just do the usual, like, I call it the merry-go-round thing, where you just put one leg out and you spin round. And then I did this, it was the martini pose. So all I had to do was like, I had one leg round the pole, and the other leg I just needed to lift up with it. And I don't know what I did, but I kid you not, the whole class heard my knee go pop. And it was, I watched it move and ripple, and I was like, oh my God, I literally thought I like broke my leg. I didn't know what I'd done. And I'm freaking out. I couldn't walk on it. And it was horrible. Stephen he had to come and pick me up in his car, leave my car there. Then he walked up and picked my car up after I got home.
I'd like to say a massive thank you to Crystal for coming on to my podcast today and talking to us in regards to her journey. Keep an eye out for part 2. This will be uploaded next week. If you have a story, big or small, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me via email, lifewithjode@gmail.com. Or you can message me on my social medias, which is at Life with Jode Official. You can watch my podcast on Podbean, Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. I also do a YouTube version over on my YouTube channel, Life with Jode. And that's a wrap from me. I'll see you next time in another episode of Life with Jode. Bye!